Good morning. On today's show, Trump threatens more tariffs. What does that mean? This weekend is the 60th anniversary of the Canadian flag. And I got some freebies. Let's start there. Carmine at Fuck Off Coffee. Send me a whole bunch of free stuff. I'll tag them in this video so you can go follow them here on TikTok, here on Instagram, and there's a YouTube. But let's break down what I got. I got the mug. It's time to go fuck off. The coffee cup. Just go fuck off. The travel mug. If you're in a hurry, you can take this and go fuck off. And I got patches. And I got lapel pins. And you better believe I'm going to wear that. And stickers. And of course, coffee. They are located in Aurora. If you're in the area, stop by. And if you want any of the stuff I just showed you, gofuckoff.com/shop. I am immensely grateful for these products. Thank you very much. All right, this weekend marks the 60th anniversary of the Canadian flag. And all living prime ministers have said that we need to unite. Listen carefully, 51st staters. Listen very carefully. Because even Stephen Harper says Canada should accept any level of damage to fight back against Donald Trump. Why does he say that? Is he a liberal shill? Is he a WEF puppet? No, it's because he's intelligent and he knows what's going to happen. The assignment is clear. We stand united. And if for some reason you can't do that, I hear we have weak borders. All right, another tariff threat. Trump threatens Canadian cars with tariff up to 100%. Now, Trump says Canada stole the car industry from them. Of course, we did not steal the industry from the Americans. Nobody was asleep at the wheel. Lester B. Pearson and Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Auto Pact. And just so you know, a car is made in the USA if 50% of the car is made in Canada or the US. What does this mean for the United States? First up, from Ford CEO, tariffs would devastate the US auto industry. Oh, interesting. And of course, for General Motors, this is a huge problem. And for the Americans, it's going to be a huge problem. Because the Americans like pickup trucks. Like that pickup truck. And those frames are built in St. Thomas, Ontario. From Auto Trader, let's break down the cars that are built in Canada. First up, the Chevy Equinox, built in Ingersoll. The Grand Caravan, the Pacifica, built in Windsor. The Challenger, built in Brampton. So's the Charger. Ford Edge is built in Oakville. Ford GT, built in Markham. Honda Civic, built in Alliston. CR-V, same thing. The Lexus RX, built in Cambridge. The Lincoln Nautilus, also built in Oakville. And the RAV4, built in Woodstock. A 100% tariff, even a 50% tariff, would mean that these plants are going to shut down. What happens if those plants shut down? Well, those cities are going to shut down too. A place like Oakville, yeah, that can survive. Someplace like Woodstock, no. Closing those plants will force the closure of any supporting business. Tool and die makers, security, etc., etc., etc. And just think, the RAV4 is an extremely popular vehicle for Toyota. The Honda Civic, that's like the most popular car Honda makes. That's already slated to come to an end anyway, and it's a small, limited run. So that's not going to have a huge impact. And the Charger and the Challenger were already nearing the end of their production cycle, so likely that plant was going to close down anyway. Now, the hopes would have been to retool this plant and replace these cars with something else. But now, that ain't happening. The mere threat of tariffs is going to stop that from happening. Stellantis would need some type of guarantee from the president that he's not going to impose tariffs on a whim. And they're not going to get that. Even if they do, he would likely impose tariffs on a whim. Will the Americans benefit from this? Absolutely not. You don't have to believe me. You can believe the CEO of Ford. I'm sure he knows how the auto industry works. But something like the RAV4, which is very popular, Toyota's going to have to reevaluate whether it's worth the trouble of putting another factory up somewhere else, or if they can retool something that exists. And if those costs will be offset by the potential future sales. Like, they build this in Woodstock because there's an advantage to building it in Woodstock. If you take away that advantage, that vehicle might disappear altogether. I think we should impose retaliatory tariffs against Tesla. And maybe send them some coffee cups.